All right, we've got something special for you today. We've managed to get our hands on what looks like a leaked intelligence dossier, and it's all about Las Vegas, specifically their new business model. And let me tell you, if you think you know how Vegas works, you're going to want to stick around. The game has totally changed.
And just so you know, this briefing comes to us compliments of the team at our Casino Kombat podcast. Okay, but before we dive in, we have to get something important out of the way. If you or anyone you know is struggling with a gambling problem and needs help, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's get right to it. The whole mystery at the heart of this dossier, the thing that kicked it all off, really comes down to this one simple question. How in the world does a $79 breakfast end up costing $142 by the time you get the bill? And the key? The piece of evidence that blew this whole thing wide open was this: a single leaked receipt from the Cosmopolitan. It started making the rounds with industry insiders, and really, it pulls back the curtain on what's really going on in Vegas these days. Now, to really get how big of a deal this is, you have to understand how things used to be. We got to look at the old Vegas playbook because for decades, the city ran on a completely different strategy. Yeah, back in the 90s, it was all about the loss leader model. You remember, right? The $5 steak dinners, the 99-cent shrimp cocktails. The whole point wasn't to make a profit on food or rooms. Nope. The goal was simple: get people in the door and onto that gaming floor. That's where the real money was. But today, we're living in what this dossier calls the Surcharge State. And the goal now is totally different. Monetize every single thing you do, long before you even place a single bet.
So, the big question is, how are they pulling this off? Well, let's break this bill down piece by piece. We're going to look at the anatomy of what they're calling a skim. Taking little bits of money off the top, often in ways you barely even notice. This, right here, is the absolute core of their new strategy.
It's a 4-step playbook they use, and it's called fee layering. And each step is brilliant in a way. It's designed not just to add a charge, but to create confusion, to make it really hard for you to figure out what you're actually paying for. Okay, step 1, the service charge. And this is the first trap. Come on, you see service charge, you think tip, right? But no, it's not a tip. If you read the fine print, this is a mandatory fee that goes straight to the hotel's pocket for, get this, administrative costs. So it's basically a fee you pay just for the privilege of ordering something. Then, right on top of that service charge, they slap on an auto-gratuity. This is the actual tip, usually about 18 to 22%. It's tacked on automatically, which means, the staff gets paid by you, not the hotel, no matter what the service was like. Okay, now we get to layer 3. And this is what the dossier calls the smoking gun. It's an upgrade fee. An upgrade for what, you ask? For traditional room service. And what exactly is that tradition? It's getting your meal on a real plate with metal silverware.
Let's just be crystal clear about this. If you choose not to pay this extra fee, that $100 steak you ordered, it shows up at your door in a paper bag, in a cardboard box, with a plastic fork. If you want to eat off a ceramic plate with actual metal utensils, you have to pay an extra fee. They've literally figured out how to monetize dinnerware. And here's the final move, the psychological trap. After all that, the service charge, the auto tip, the plate rental, the bill still has a big empty line for an additional tip. And they're just banking on it. They're hoping you're tired, maybe you're in a rush, and you'll just scribble in another 20% without even realizing you've already tipped.
So you have to ask yourself, why? Why go through all this trouble? And the answer, according to this dossier, isn't just simple greed. It's way bigger than that. It's a calculated move in a massive corporate war. In this chart, this explains the whole game right here. See, when you book a $200 room on a site like Expedia or Booking.com, the hotel has to pay them a big commission, maybe 15, 25%. But they pay 0 commission on resort fees, 0 on service charges, 0 on that silverware fee. So by keeping the advertised room rate low and piling on all these hidden back-end fees, they're basically cutting the booking sites out of the picture and taking that money straight from you. So where does all this lead? Well, it builds to a pretty damning conclusion in this dossier, one that completely redefines a classic Vegas term you've probably heard a million times.
We all know what a whale is in Vegas, right? It's the high roller, the person betting tens of thousands of dollars a hand. That was the old target. Well, the dossier's verdict on this is incredibly blunt. It says, "Today, the whale is anyone foolish enough to use the hotel phone."
And that really is the key takeaway here. The whole definition has been turned on its head. It's not about how much you're betting at the tables anymore. In this new surge state, the whale is simply any guest who doesn't check every single line item on their bill. The target isn't just the gambler anymore. The target is, well, it's everyone.
So there you have it. The dossier lays out the new rules of the game. The house isn't just the casino floor anymore. It's the check-in desk. It's the room service menu. It's the minibar. Now you know how the game is played. The only question left is, what's your next move? All rights to this briefing are reserved by Volcanic Dingo LLC. Just a reminder, this content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance is never an indicator of future results. And as always, please gamble responsibly.